Hello out there in YouTube land. Welcome to the OKGoodReview channel. And as you can see, today is our very first vlog for the channel. Now, most of our videos are frivolous and funny, and we like to joke around and have fun and so on. This is going to be a little bit more of a serious type video. So guys, I was planning on doing this at the end of December, guys, to go right into the new year and talk about some of the channel changes and things like that. I've been mentioning it in our Twitter feed a little bit and on the blog. If you guys would like to check that out, the link for both will be in the description below. But the blog is, of course, available on our Twitter, guys. So if you follow us on our Twitter, which is the same as the channel tag, OKGoodReview, it's the first pinned post, guys, so you can very readily find it if you're interested. And hopefully, guys, I've done a blog post on this as well. Hopefully you guys will look at that. What I was saying is that there's going to be some changes to the channel and the content in 2020. And I was going to wait to the end of the year to do that. But as the good lady says, events are upon us, and I've had to move it up a little bit. So there's a thing called COPPA, C-O-P-P-A. That is the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, I believe. It's something along those lines. Now, the FTC and YouTube had a little bit of a skirmish due to YouTube not following some of that, I guess, explicitly. So, as part of the resolution, the settlement, whatever you want to call it, YouTube has started making a number of changes. Some of them will be coming in December. Some of them will be coming in January, which is when the COPPA compliance stuff has to take place. Right now, they're still looking at public commentary for that, so those rules are not set in stone at the moment. Guys, I will provide a link for you. It's in the blog post on the subject. But I will also put it in the description below, guys, where you can go there and you can make a comment to the FTC yourself. You can look at some of the proposed changes and what they mean. There's a very good article on TubeFilter. I'll put that up there as well, so you guys can also check into that and get a little bit of the background. Basically, though, if you are a creator or you are a viewer of YouTube, this will impact you on some level, one way or the other. And while they're looking for public comment, we strongly urge you guys to go there and to make your voice heard. Part of what they're doing, and I get into this in the blog post, guys, I really encourage you to read that because it outlines a lot of this. But some of the problem is that they want to find creators directly. Now, as creators, we just come up with the content, we produce it, we create it, literally. Right? So there's planning and everything else involved in that. We don't host it. We can't control who views it. All we do is upload it to a site, and then YouTube administers all that, which is a fair trade for them, because in exchange for all that money to host everything and to stream it and so on, they get the lion's share of the revenue. So that's what we signed on. Our whole journey is on the blog, guys. Encourage you to read that if you're interested in our approach and everything. But so far, that's been a reasonable agreement. We're trying to get to the point where we can monetize it, but this was never, we didn't enter into this as it being a business idea. We entered into it as something that Star Wars Show want to do, and one more fun thing that we do together, guys, really. And so we haven't been super pressed about that. However, the fine, so if the FTC comes after creators directly, which is completely non-appropriate and totally misguided, let's just say they do. They go after us. It's over $42,000 for one incident. And it has to do with whether or not you're designating your video as child directed. Now, child directed to me means like a child is directing it. And one of the things that our star likes to do is make his own little movies on the Kindle and stuff like that. And someday we are going to show him to you if he comes up with something he likes a lot. However, we don't target any specific audience. We've been family friendly from the jump. From the GETGO guys, been family friendly the whole time. However, that does not mean that we're targeting children with all of our content. Some of it is, and certainly when in January when we have to go and tag everything as to whether or not it is, there will be a lot of them, like the entire Paw Patrol series, for instance, that I will be designating as intended for children because they are. Paw Patrol videos are not going to be of interest to adults generally. However, all those toys, there's a lot of collectors that are not children. Children don't have money, right? So a lot of the collectors are adults, and collectors will look through those videos. There's a lot of model builds, for instance. I don't know of any children, to be quite frank with you guys, that are watching our model builds. I don't know if any of them even are. It is clearly not meant for a child audience. So some of the little play acting stuff we do, things like that might be the Japan crates. The things that we get commentary on are almost never intended to be children's content. Most of the time, it's a general audience. And if the FTC or YouTube decides that one of our general audience videos should be tagged as child directed, what does that mean? Well, it means, first of all, that there's no comments for it and there's no notifications. If the entire channel gets dinged, that's very problematic because at that point, why would you subscribe to that? Subscribing is so you can be notified of new content, right? But if you're not going to be notified, then what's the point of subscribing? You know, there's a lot that they have to figure out. There's no appeals process. So if one of our model builds, for instance, or let's just say the video for how to unstick your kitchen sink, right? Something like that, or doing science even, those get tagged as a child directed, and they're not. They're meant for all audiences. They're not specific to children. There's not an appeals process at this point. So this gets very problematic very, very quickly with this sort of overreaching, very heavy-handed approach that they seem at this point like they're taking. That's why we really need your public comments. We have until December 9th, 2019. So as I post this, it's either the first part of December or it's late November, depending on when you guys are viewing this, of 2019. Guys, if you haven't done it already and you're watching this before December 9th, 2019, please go to the link, either in my blog post or I will also put it in the description, and make your voice heard. As I mentioned, guys, stuff like this could be the end of the channel. Like, I can't overstate how serious this actually is. If they so depending on how it's implemented, if they tag our whole channel as child directed, then that pretty much means the end of it. So the idea of not having comments and notifications and things like that is very frustrating because I intensely monitor every single comment that comes through because I want the whole thing to be safe. I want it to be safe for work, including the comments. I want it to be family friendly, including the comments, even though I'm not generating those. I still want those because they're part of our channel, so I'm going through and doing all that. YouTube certainly could do that themselves. You know, there's obviously a lot of content on there, but they're the ones making the money, so, and they certainly are not in shortage of it, so they could very definitely make all of that happen. Instead, this idea of putting it on the head of the creators is just super frustrating. But so we get dinged, right? So we get, say we're a child-directed channel, that creates some very serious issues. And there's not a lot of incentive for us to make anything then that goes on there. You know, YouTube is talking about a fund that they're going to do to try to offset some of that. And they'll take care of people like Hobby Kids. They'll take care of Ryan's Toys and EvanTube and, you know, that sort of thing. They'll take care of those guys, which are clearly targeted for a child audience. But they don't care about channels like us. I mean, that's the bottom line here, guys, right? We can't even contact them directly without a certain volume, without a certain level of subscribers and view count and all this other stuff. So even though we've been doing it 3.5 years, we have at this point right around 650 videos. If there's problems like that, we can't get in touch with them. We're just kind of sailing adrift. YouTube has liked to move the goalposts a lot. When we started, we were monetized, and then they swiftly changed it to 100 subscribers. So great, now we've got 100. We actually have over 100 subscribers. Then they moved it again to 1,000 subscribers. So right now we're about 16% of the way to being able to be monetized. Right, we have probably approaching 230 hours of content, 650 videos, 3.5 years doing this, and we're 16% of the way to being monetized. And with this new restriction, that might very swiftly become 0% of the way to being monetized. So YouTube is a private business. It can do whatever it wants. We're not complaining about this, guys. We're just telling you where it is. Probably if there was a competitive model, we would be looking very heavily into that. At the moment, there isn't. Maybe someday there will be. But by that point in time, right, things move on. And part of what we're running into right now is things moving on. And that's part of the channel changes I was originally going to talk to you about. I will get to that a little bit later in the video. Before I get too far into this, I have been also making content for a different channel. That channel will also be in the description for this video as well. And I will include it also in the blog post for the channel analytics for November 2019, guys. A lot of information on the blog. If you guys want to see in real time exactly the history of our channel, as just a channel starting from scratch, guys, it's all there for you to be able to look at. So this other channel may be where a lot of this stuff gets moved. Like I said, the food crates, the model builds, the discussion series that I started and haven't had time to develop, but still plan on doing. Some of the how-to videos, some of the special event videos, a lot of the collector-oriented stuff, it might all wind up being pushed over to that secondary channel, which is absolutely not a child-defined channel. There's nothing there intended even remotely for children. There are no children even in any of the content on that channel. So that would be something that I may also consider as well, just taking it off of the OKGoodReview channel and putting it on to the second channel where I've been doing some other stuff, guys. And you can feel free to, like I said, I'll put the link in the description and I will put it as well in the November 2019 blog. If you guys are interested, I wasn't really going to say anything about it because I don't want to promote it on this channel. However, events are upon us. And if I have to move some of that content and you guys want to know where to find it, it'll have to be there. You'll have to go there. I'll try to update playlists if that happens as well. So if you're looking through the playlist and you're like, hey, where'd this video go? I'll try to include that information then in the description of the playlist, so at least there's a reference to it. So this is a lot of hard work, guys, doing a channel like this. Around 230 hours, guys. But if you look at all of the factors that go into that, it takes between 10 and 20 times that amount of time to actually come up with that content. So there's not a shortage at all of work gone into this, guys. We have not made any money. We've made $0 for this. And the choice was made to just do this, right? But there's costs because you have to have content. So we buy a lot more things you know, like for some of the challenges and some of the toy collections, than we would probably be inclined to do normally, so that we have content. And the audience interaction and things like that, guys, it's fun to do. It teaches the star of our show a lot of stuff outside of video production, you know, pre-planning and perseverance and hard work and all that kind of thing. And it's kind of a shame to be able to move away from that. But guys, if we're being honest, over time, your tastes change. And we finished a number of collections. We've been averaging about 3 videos a month right now, except for the collection month, which is October. In 2020, our star has a little bit of lowered interest in toys. And we have a lot actually, of lowered space to store toys. And he's developing different interests now. So the bottom line, I think, is that 2020, regardless of what happens with this COPPA thing, would be looking at reduced content anyway. The food crates are going away in 2020. The Japan crate we're doing through February. Universal Yums is ending in December. December will be our last Universal Yums crate, guys. Assuming that this COPPA thing doesn't force us to basically wipe the channel or make some heavy modifications, I've got enough model builds to last into the summer, so those will be on there. We still have a backlog to go through. That stuff will be posted. It won't be 3 a week anymore. I'm guessing it'll be maybe just weekends, possibly. Might be Wednesday, Saturday, something like that as well. I don't know yet. I haven't quite decided, guys. I like to keep the regularity of schedules going, but I don't, at this point, know how that's going to look. Once we finish out the toys that we've got on deck, and of course the Christmas haul will be part of that, and December 2019 will be posting as normal, assuming that they don't implement something weird that we don't foresee. So we'll be doing holiday decorations in December. We'll be doing the Christmas toy haul, and those are usually fairly bulky, so I'm guessing that we will have, you know, maybe a dozen videos out of that. Assuming we make it to our 4th anniversary or 700 video, that'll be coming up maybe in April, something like that. We have some stuff planned that we want to try to get to as well, plus maybe some of Leo's new interests will make it into things. The whole point, really, though, is Leo is very motivated by it being fun, and oftentimes it isn't as much for him. So I think the idea of having a YouTube channel is of a lot more interest to him than actually having a YouTube channel and doing all the work and all that stuff, guys. So we're just going to, basically 2020 is going to see us, I think, really take a lot of the pressure off. And if we come up with some cool stuff, but it's not going to be this drive to do three postings a week or anything like that. We're still going to try to keep it consistent, because I think consistency has really sort of helped people to expect when, for them to expect when there's going to be new content and things like that. We're going to try to stick to a schedule, guys, but I don't really know how that's going to go. There's already, I would say, when I started doing the solo videos, guys, it was to, kind of fill in stuff. I don't know that I really want to do a lot more of those, because I'm already doing a ton of them for the other side, guys. But maybe that'll be something that I can start doing a little bit more of some of the other series that I had in mind. Definitely can't do more model builds if you run into the space problem again. And those, the model builds take about a week to film, so those really aren't going to be, there's just not, to my mind, a really good way of trying to keep that kind of pacing. But, depending on what changes are happening, it may not be commensurate to the work that it takes to actually come up with all this stuff. I still enjoy shooting videos. I enjoy creating videos. I enjoy somewhat enjoy editing videos. That's fun stuff to do. I like recording, and I like, doing the videos for the other channel. And I like, we've had a lot of fun guys, we've had a lot of fun over the course of time that we've done this. And maybe this is just, it's just running out and this is as long as it was ever going to go. I can't answer a lot of that stuff. It feels to me like our hand is kind of being forced. But I don't want to run this too much longer, guys. And thank you for everyone who's stayed with us this far. We very rarely do serious content. Definitely, this is our first vlog. I don't think we're going to be doing a lot more of these. It's just not... We try to keep the tone very consistent, throughout the channel. And this is definitely outside of that. But this is important. It's important stuff, guys. And there is a way you can help, of course. Numbers matter. So if you guys watch our stuff and you're not subscribed, please, guys, subscribe. Share the content, particularly this video. This one should be disseminated far and wide, guys. But share our content, guys. Comment to the FTC if you're viewing this before December 9th of 2019. Make your voice heard, guys. Click on the link. Input whatever you want. Again, if you guys want to cut and paste that entire blog post that I have and just modify it so that it's not explicitly pointing at an OKGoodReview, if you want to change it to make it your own, I don't care if you're on the channel. Guys, please feel free to use it. It's 100% there. If you guys want to pick and choose talking points, awesome. Guys, please do that too. Definitely make your voice heard. They extended the public comment period because they got so many of them. Honestly, YouTube is doing a poor job of mentioning to their creators something this monumental is coming. YouTube is honestly in a lot of ways failing their audience because they're not saying, here's this gigantic federal wrecking ball that is going to dramatically change the service. That it just blows me away that they're not really making the drive to get a lot of public commentary out there, guys. And it's kind of a shame. But you definitely can help in that way, guys. Of course, likes and comments and things like that are great. Subscriptions are really important, guys. Like I was saying, following us on Twitter is also very, very useful, guys. And reading the blog and doing all that stuff, guys. Just any support, not even for us, just any support for the channels you love, because a lot of these are going to be going through the same thing. YouTube has changed their model to make things a lot rougher on creators. Period. It's not necessarily all they're doing, but a lot of their moves have had the impact. That's the impact that they've had, guys. So definitely we appreciate everybody who comes by, watches videos, and hits the likes and comments and everything else, guys. We love doing this, guys, but it definitely adds a lot of meaning to things to know that a lot of you guys are out there checking us out and getting a kick out of it and being part of the OKG community and family and everything else, guys. So anyway, guys, that's the situation we're staring down right now. That's what we have in front of us. That's the event that's upon us. That's what's coming, and I don't know what's going to happen in 2020, guys, but if you're wondering, if you come by our channel and say, hey, what happened to those guys? They're all right here or in the blog, guys. I have put some of this stuff up on Twitter as well, guys, so if you guys want to follow us there, that is going to be a good place to get a lot of the updates and things like that. But hopefully this video is all for nothing and everything will be smooth sailing. But I doubt it. It hasn't been so far, guys. There is no reason to expect that it will be going forward either. So anyway, we appreciate you guys, and we hope that you appreciate everything that us and other YouTube creators out there are doing for you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.